I think that if TNA was able to get a TV deal and be able to compete with AEW and the WWE, I think personally TNA would do better in ratings in AEW than Dynamite, specifically Dynamite, since that's AEW's main show. TNA has proven in the past that when it was on a TV network, Spike, it was definitely getting up there in viewership ratings. It was doing pretty good numbers, not compared to Monday Night Raw back in the day, but I would say it was definitely in the million mark for sure. And they were able to get there, not able to maintain it for long periods of time because TNA has had a lot of creative issues, management issues in the past. And I feel like that's what led to TNA's downfall. Ultimately was the management and also creative problems. But during their hot streak from, I want to say, 2007, 8 to like 2011, 12, TNA was on fire. TNA was doing their thing. And I just want to say this, AEW is not competition to the WWE at all. If Dynamite cannot get up in the million mark, if it cannot hit 1 million views, then it's not in no way, shape, or form competition. Dynamite is in more competition with NXT because NXT is their developmental brand, their developmental show. The least amount of viewers are going to watch NXT on a weekly basis, ranging from about 500K to maybe 800K. If you got Cody on that show, or John Cena, or maybe Randy Orton or CM Punk, the numbers might go up close to 1 million, right? But that's only if you have those guys on that show. A lot of the weeks they don't. But right now, NXT and Dynamite, they're competition. Clear competition. And this is why I'm really digging the TNA and NXT connection, because it could definitely lead to TNA getting a TV network deal maybe in the near future. We'll have to see how things pan out, right? NXT is going on the CW network in October. So maybe that can open the door for TNA to finally get back on TV. And that would be pretty cool. Because I really do think that TNA deserves a second shot. They deserve a revival, and I want to see a TNA go back to its former glory. And if eventually they do get a TV network deal, I could see them being in direct competition with AEW Dynamite. Okay? And I could see TNA doing a little bit more better numbers than AEW. It would definitely take time for them to get to there, to get past maybe 500K viewers or more, right? Because they just have to build themselves back up. But I think if you give them a couple years to build themselves back up, they will definitely, from viewership standpoint, from a rating standpoint, they will definitely outdo Dynamite. That's for sure. I talked about how AEW and TNA, they're pretty much different, right? Some people will compare them a lot to one another. They're the secondary alternative, wrestling show compared to, to WWE, right? They were secondary, right? TNA was considered secondary to WWE. Now that's AEW now. And I really feel like that AEW was supposed to be somewhat identical to what TNA was early on around 2002 in the very, very beginning. But they failed to be that because there was more focused on, legends, more focused on the veterans, more focused on the more established ex WWE superstars. And Tony Khan did not focus more on AEW originals. TNA focused more on their originals back in the day. Okay. AEW failed to really establish, except with MJF, right? But for the most part, most of the originals did not really develop very good early on. It took them some time to really catch their footing, primarily Jack Perry. I guess you can say Hook, but he hasn't really much developed into his own. He's still kind of the same character. I would say the most advanced AEW originals have been Hangman Adam Page and Jack Perry.